Hello and welcome to today's edition of Midweek Peek, a peek behind the scenes at Old South Church in Boston. My name is Nancy Taylor. I am your host today, and today's topic are just off the presses new 350th anniversary book. In September of 2017, the Tell the Story Task Force of the 350th Anniversary Committee met for the first time and outlined some wishes. And the minutes of that meeting record that we formed a consensus that day that we wanted something written. We noted that the last written history of Old South Church was over 50 years ago for our 300th anniversary. I was to research organizations that write histories. I did, and I came back with a price tag of $250,000. I'm sure it would have been a very nice book, but it wasn't in our budget. So we pivoted. We decided to do it ourselves. But 350 eventful years is a lot to write about, a lot to research. Over time, we came up with the idea of an open source encyclopedia. We would get help from any number of researchers and writers. The Tell the Story Task Force brainstormed an initial list of subjects we wanted covered, but we also agreed that writers could submit their own ideas of subjects they wanted to cover. There were two rules we had for writers. It had to do with Old South Church in Boston, their subject, and it was to be a concise rendition of the topic, not exhaustive. We entitled it Old South Church in Boston, 1669 to 2019, a concise, theological, historical, and whimsical encyclopedia by its members, ministers, and friends. And in the end, we have over 100 unique authors, ranging in age from those in their first decade of life to those in their 9th decade. There are 400 entries. I'm rounding up. There are 396 entries. The tome is 628 pages, weighing in at 3 pounds, a couple of ounces, printed on recycled paper, produced in the United States. Here it is. Let's take a look. Hardcover. It's a deep sea, the blue, the cover, embossed in gold, illustrated with cover art by Pam Roberts. A note on the inclusive dimensions of God's grace. Title page. The book is dedicated to the memory of Evan H. Shue, church historian, 2018 to 2020, for whom this project was a labor of love, by the Tell the Story Task Force members. Contents include such subjects as abolitionists, baptism, bears and bells, democracy, dragons and dragoons, hypnotwisters, lightning rods, LGBTQ+, marriage equality, Mother Goose, periwigs, pianos, pilings, and pirates. There's a list of all the contributors, a preface by me. The first subject, Vision for the 21st Century, listed under 21st. A very special thanks to the members of the Tell the Story Task Force who labored away at this for several years. It was a lot of work. A million thanks to Tell the Story chairperson Liz Morgan, without whom we could not have done this. Our project manager, Rebecca Pasapanoida, who received, posted, and edited virtually every entry before it went to our professional editors. Sarah Monsma Billings, expert in editing and publishing. Laura Walker Dunn, English teacher and lover of books, who I think read every article, as did Sarah. Chuck Gerlinger and Larry Bowers, attorneys and historians who brought precision to this undertaking. Eric Gustafson, who kept our minutes, and not least former church historian Evan Shu of blessed memory. As I said, it's illustrated with a lot of information, and concluding with the church covenant. Old South Church in Boston, 1669 to 2019, a concise, theological, historical, and whimsical encyclopedia by its members, ministers, and friends. It's now on sale via our website, $25 per copy, all proceeds to benefit Grace Speaks, Old South Committee on Racial Justice.